What's up, everybody? We are MURPHGAM, and this is MURPHGAM. What's up, everybody, and welcome to MURPHGAM. Hi, Amos. How are you doing?
I'm doing swell. Just got off of work.
Yeah, same. Oh my gosh, Amos, there's so much to talk about today.
Is there. I got in the middle of work, I got maybe 7 different notifications from IGN about there. Did you see this? Guys, see? Did not everybody see this? It's not the NX anymore.
Wait, that's what you got from IGN? Everything I got from IGN was like, guys, look, Red Dead Redemption 2's out, guys, look.
That was actually the first thing I got was Red Dead Redemption, and it scared me because when I first got it, I'm like, oh, it's happening, and I looked at it and it's like, okay, look, Red Dead great. But that's not what I want.
Right. Well, and here's the thing, Red Dead Redemption, I was like, okay, I knew this was happening today. Curious, is it on the NX? And out of my curiosity, looking to see if it was on the NX led me to see, wow, there is not as much hype for this game as there is for the NX. Or, dadgummit, the Switch. I've been calling it the NX.
Okay, so again, that's something we have to probably confront is that it was codename NX. That's not its actual finished title.
And I keep calling it that. I need to make the Switch.
Okay, so you've seen the logo for the NX. There we go.
There you go.
You've seen the logo for the Switch, right? When I looked at it, I thought 2 things. 1, it looks like a yin yang symbol, and 2, it reminds me of Domino's pizza.
Well, all day I've been looking at Twitter all day because I wanted to see what was going on with the Switch. I wanted to see, because the debate was the #1 trending thing on Twitter. On Twitter. Within, I want to say, an hour, there has now at this point there is 811,000 tweets about Switch.
God bless America.
So it is by far the most talked about thing right now, and everybody is freaking out about it. Guys, this is our first discussion that we've ever done. Me and Amos are so far away from each other, but we wanted to talk to you guys about the Switch, because this is a fresh experience for me and Amos. Me and him have not talked about it at all, so it's not scripted at all. Everything we're about to say is just us talking, and we wanted you guys.
Completely, just complete speculation here.
And we wanted you guys to be a part of mine and Amos's conversation. So, first things off, how do you like the concept of it, Amos?
Honestly, we've pretty much everything that they've shown us as far as leaks go, we're leading up to this whole, portable device. As far as the final concept from what we see, it actually took me by surprise. One of the most surprising things about it, I'd say, is that the choice of an asymmetrical controller and that it can 2-player. I thought that was really neat because I started thinking about that. I'm like, that's weird because with the Wii U, it had it has the double thumbs. So I'm sitting there thinking, well, that's strange. It's I know they're trying to make a different situation, but in some ways it kind of resembles a Wii U. But when I started thinking about it, it's because when you take the controllers apart, they can be reversible either whichever direction. One thing I didn't know for sure, though, is I'm not entirely sure if it's motion controlled. It seemed they had showed a bit of it, but as far as I'm what?
Well, going with the motion controls thing, this is something I've heard a lot of people talking about. We saw Splatoon and Mario Kart, but did you notice that those are not the same ones that are on the Wii U?
No, exactly. What we saw there, because one thing I noticed about the Splatoon is that the beginning animations for when a match starts was completely different, and so the colors seemed a little more. I don't want to say bland, but they were definitely.
They were holding different weapons. Their hair was completely different.
They were in fact holding different weapons, and with Mario Kart, it seemed. Well, I mean, I wouldn't know if there was anything too dramatically different about it.
Oh yeah, I can tell you right now what was different. King Boo was in there. 2 items were added, and you can hold 2 items now instead of 1. And this is just kind of something someone said. Maybe this is a Mario Kart Double Dash thing that they may be announcing.
Gosh, that'd be so good.
What adds even more to that is the fact that they were playing on a Mario Kart Double Dash stage at the time.
That is right. That is right. Oh my gosh, that is right. Oh, another thing I want to mention that I'm pretty sure a lot of people who are outside of Nintendo noticed is that they showed Skyrim on the NX.
Yeah. Okay, so that, like, I stared, like, when he did that, when they showed that, I was like, well, you know, I finally, after my, like, 5th watch, you know, I was, but, like, because I've already seen the trailer, like, 6 times today. I was like, oh my gosh, is that Skyrim? And then I was like, holy crap, that's Skyrim. Like, I was so blown away by that. And then, like, have you seen the picture of all the third-party supporters?
Yes, like there's so much like behind it. It seems that Nintendo finally said, you know what, everyone just jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, I know. Well, like,
oh, there you go ahead.
Well, like, I was just gonna say, like, there's so many on there that have never even done anything for Nintendo before. Like,
it's true. Like, I've never seen a Bethesda game on system ever. Like, It's never been a thing. And this seems to be like just like a snap in history here, because like this is like never ever happened before. I can't think. No, there may have been other Bethesda titles, but other major titles like like Fallout or Skyrim or anything like, or the Elder Scrolls.
Think we'll get Fallout 4 for the Switch?
They might actually do that. I mean, I don't see why not. It seems like it's up to Bethesda saying, "Hey, you see that Breath of the Wild? Not hype train if you give us Skyrim."
Well, like,
we'll buy that.
Like the third-party system the third-party member or whatever, the third-party support that stuck out the most to me was From Software, the Dark Souls creators. That stood out the most to me. I was like, oh my gosh, are we going to see Dark Souls 3 on the Switch? Like,
I'm sorry. I was going to say that that does sort of concern me, is that it seems like a lot of the opening titles we're getting are going to be titles we've already seen. Kind of like in the situation where Batman, I think it was Arkham City, was released way later on the Wii U.
That's true.
So unless it's truly offering something different, I don't know too many people. Well, I mean, obviously the complete appeal that it's a go play wherever, whenever situation. But as far as bringing in new people, like older games, I mean, I can see how that would attract some people, but I'm not really sure if that's like an amazing sell point. Like, I can't wait to play Skyrim again.
Right. Yeah. Well, like. Going back on the mobile go around everything, like something I've heard a lot of people talking about, and this is something that's kind of bothered me a little bit, is people are like, oh, they're making another mobile console, and it's like, no, this is whatever you want it to be. You don't want to play mobile gaming? Fine, play it at home, Don't want to play it at home? Fine, play it on the go. Although that also concerns me about the battery life. Like, how's the battery life on this thing?
That is true. Like that is definitely something that we're going to hear later on. Maybe, I'm not sure. But as far as that goes, it does seem like they're in fact dabbling as deep as they can into whatever market they can reach. Because during the ad, I noticed that they're like kind of trying to appeal to like people who like sports games like Madden and basketball.
Yeah, which I thought was cool. I thought that was really interesting.
Like, hey, you like play a little real life b-ball, or you want to pretend to play b-ball? Well, you can b-ball outside, boy.
Yeah. Well, I was showing one of my coworkers, and like he was like, why did they stop playing basketball and start playing the console? Why don't they just go back to playing?
You fool!
Oh gosh, but yeah, that like, we were talking. We kind of ventured off the motion controls.
Oh yeah.
So Splatoon, that is heavily based on the gyroscope. But the thing is.
But keep going.
Well, like, I'm just saying, like, you have the map and the gyroscope and everything. Like, you can turn it off, but you have that map. You have to have that screen for the map so you can press where you want to go. And you can't use the screen because the actual screen itself is the console. So,
one thing that they could be is that there may be some. Because what we saw when they showed Splatoon was like a bunch of people getting together like in a giant tournament style thing. So Splatoon may be exclusively you have to play at home situation. Like, there's some games on the Wii U where you can't play on the gamepad simply because there's, you just can't do it. It's too big of a game to play on your gamepad or something like that.
Right.
So there could be titles where go around isn't a choice, but that's just me. I'm pretty sure Nintendo found a workworkaround because they've done pretty much everything at this point.
Because Nintendo does good at Vidma games.
That is indeed true.
But go ahead. No, you go ahead.
There's gosh, I just had it. Oh yeah. What was it? Okay, so as far as the controller goes, it seems like that there's going to be a pro version of the controller that it comes with,
which I'll buy immediately.
Of course, everybody chooses pro, like this, which is really funny because like most Xbox and PlayStation comes with like a controller that people use throughout the entirety of the system's lifespan, whereas Nintendo pretty much has been the only company that continues to change their controllers and make them compatible. Like, you can have for the Wii U, you have the gamepad, you have the Pro controller, you can use
the Wii stuff.
Yeah, control. It's in a plethora. So I'm actually wondering if, well, I doubt they're going to be backwards compatible with something like the GameCube controller. But as far as controllers go, it seems like we're going to have, the one that it comes with in the Pro controller, maybe a Wiimote, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Right. Well, yeah, and there's a lot to take from it, like, and a lot of things that I noticed too. Like, gosh, it looks like a beer, like that you're drinking. It's really funny because you got the American flag back behind you, and then you're wearing a plaid shirt, and then it looks like you're just taking a swig of a beer real quick.
I hate commies, dirty commies. Actually, if I was facing the other direction, you can see my Zelda poster. So next time I'll face the door, and if whoever is just walk in and see me on my computer.
Right.
Surprised I'm not doing anything dirty that time.
but going back to the in the trailer, I noticed something that nobody's talked about yet. I think we have confirmed amiibo support because when one of the actors picked up their controller, there was amiibo sitting next to the controller when she was playing that confirmed Mario game, by the way, that was on the screen, that new Mario game.
Was something else. I was like, that looks like a new Mario game. At first I was like, that's got to be Super Mario 3D World, but that's a top-down perspective. And this could be another a Super Mario 64. I don't know.
Yeah, another new. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, one of the screens, it looked like it had a Mexican, like a Hispanic type of feel to it, like the level that he was playing on, quote unquote. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, the whole concept of it is awesome. Like it's a great idea, and like the only thing that I can think that could possibly be bad about it is the Joy-Cons themselves, like the actual, that's what they're called, by the way, the little controllers, the Joy-Con, is like kids losing them, or, something like that.
That could probably be a humongous problem for people. Good thing we're not children.
Right, yeah.
I do honestly see how that could be a concern. I guess, yeah, this actually is one of the systems, even though it is completely portable, there is a lot of liabilities ahead because, like, if you don't have every piece, like if you lose one side of the controller, you're essentially, you're out of luck. Because
and is it going to be easy to replace?
No, that is something else that I noticed is that, turn like one controller or one side of the controller can essentially be a controller itself
for certain games.
Well, yeah, for certain games, but like take a Skyward Sword for instance. It was a Zelda game that didn't have a camera stick. You could essentially, use one simply as like the most primitive version of a controller, but that's just my speculation.
Right.
I highly doubt it. I do think you need both controllers for a full game to work properly on the go.
Yeah.
But I can't see how that would be essentially a problem, for people who are either forgetful or just misplace it.
Right.
So there may be a humongous market for people misplacing their left or right killjoys, whatever they're called.
Killjoys? Joy-Cons.
Same difference.
Right, yeah. Well, and going back to the kid thing, like, I was very happy to see that there were no kids in this commercial. I was very happy to see that.
It seems highly that Nintendo is definitely focusing on its older fan base that's not grown up.
Which is
I do love that. I do love that, in fact, because I don't see how this console would, pretty much appeal to children that just don't care. Like, because they're used to, like, they're already on Xbox calling each other's mom stupid or whatever.
Yeah.
As far as Nintendo games go, I don't think it's ironically not as popular with children as people may think. So I do, and I think Nintendo realizes this, and that's why this commercial seemed like it was more for a mature fan base, which I appreciate entirely. I mean, that's probably one of the reasons why there should have titles like Skyrim on there. And
right, yeah, exactly.
Because like a kid's not going to care. Like an 8-year-old kid just wants to yell at people while playing Call of Duty. Ironically,
want
to play video games.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm very stoked for it. Like there's and just them not advertising for kids was like enough for me to be like, oh, I'm so on board. I was a little upset I couldn't pre-order it like right away because I tried to.
Yeah. Available in 2017, a year that's infamously growing better in spite of this one.
Right.
I hate this year so much. You have no idea. This has been probably the worst year of my life.
It's been a pretty bad year. It really has.
I'm not even kidding. Like it's been probably as long as I've been alive on this earth, this is probably most disappointing, most agonizing year of my entire life. Sucks.
We're looking for a good year next year, that's for sure.
So 2017 is having so much promise attached to it. The only problem is it depends on which president is.
Right.
On both the fence, we still get a slice of crap at the end.
Well, something I kind of want to talk about too is the heavy amount of NX stuff that was talked about on Twitter. All the amount of different posts and stuff, people that have posted, for instance, is it NVIDIA? Is that how you pronounce it?
That sounds right, yeah.
They confirmed that they are in fact running the machine. They are in fact running the Nintendo Switch. They have their own custom Tigra chip inside of it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they said that is what's running the Nintendo Switch, which is big. That's going to be awesome.
One other thing that's finally been pretty much confirmed is that we're no longer using discs, we're using chips.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we're using cartridges, baby. Oh my gosh, that's going to be awesome. I'm actually kind of excited. I hope that, and this is something that Barry from Game Grumps tweeted about. He said, I hope that Nintendo comes up with a very clever way to display these cartridges in a case that's not the 3DS case.
That is true. I mean, when it comes to major consoles, pretty much, I don't know. It's been kind of weird because it used to be the bigger discs had the bigger boxes, and now with Xbox One and PlayStation 4, they've gone to kind of this medium looking box thing. So I'm not entirely sure how they're going to be selling NX games because usually, if you're selling a big brand, you want it to be in your face. So it's going to be interesting how they do this. Heck, it might even be I actually have no idea. I can't even think.
Well, my immediate thinking, when you think cartridges, you're like, oh, it's so small. You can't possibly fit enough data onto it to play a game. But that's entirely wrong. A disc can only hold so much. Even a Blu-ray disc, they have 1 terabyte SD cards now. That's that's insane.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so imagine what they could do with a cartridge. How much stuff they can put on a cartridge. That's insane. That's entirely insane. But something I kind of wanted to talk about. I kind of wanted to go through some of these tweets that I retweeted today. Guys who are listening, you can. Some of these tweets were some of my personal. Some of them were on the MURPHGAM Twitter, which you guys should follow. I'm constantly posting stuff on there all the time, along with the Instagram and Tumblr. Moving right along. So the real Shigeru Moto, the guy who posts, he's not really the real Shigeru Moto. He just posts
not really
stuff.
The real.
Yeah. So a lot of his stuff I retweeted today. He's just been photoshopping pictures all day. So he posted a picture of a light switch that had a Zelda cover on it and said, "Can't wait to play Legend of Zelda on the new Nintendo Switch." Thought that was pretty clever.
Naturally. Expecting anything less.
50 Nerds of Grey tweeted, "That's so good," he cried, "but it was all over in 3 minutes," he sighed. That was the 10th time he had watched the Nintendo Switch trailer. At Spooktronic tweeted, "The Nintendo Switch has a headphone jack. Shots fired." Which I think is awesome.
Yeah, it does have a headphone jack.
It does have a headphone jack, yeah.
Almost forgot.
Right, yeah. And someone tweeted, I think at Black Nerd tweeted, "I love that Google searching Nintendo Switch either brings up the new console or images of the RF switcher for the original NES." Which it did. Every time I typed in Nintendo Switch, it kept bringing up that RF switcher that was on the original NES. And then Shigeru Moto posted another picture of a light switch, said Nintendo Switch 2017. At GameSpot tweeted a picture of that video of the guy, his mind's been blown. He's like, fireworks are going off and stuff, and it just says Nintendo Switch mind blown. Yeah. at GTJIO said, Wii U lets you play while you poop. Switch lets you play while you poop in someone else's house. Yeah. Which is great.
Dope.
At Ali Greed posted a video of the Wii U evolving into the Nintendo Switch.
I mean, essentially, it does have similar features, I suppose. But anyway,
yeah. Someone is at like Darkness Rider posted a GIF of you know that guy who's like, "You follow me, camera guy." It's a video of him throwing a blender out the window, but they replaced it with the Wii U, and it said if the NX has backwards compatibility, and it just shows him throwing the Wii U out the window. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, it seems very likely there's going to be a lot of popular titles being backwards.
I don't think it's going to be backwards compatible. I think they're going to make enhanced versions.
You're probably right. That's probably exactly what they're planning on doing.
Probably one of my favorite, there's another one that's coming up. Probably one of my favorite, this has been going around all day, like about 3 minutes after it went up. Somebody has taken a Wii U gamepad and cut it in half.
I saw that.
And said, "Look, guys, I got the Nintendo Switch," which is ridiculous. Why? Why would you do that?
From what I saw, the thumbsticks were taken out, so it's probably a used one that was already garbage.
Broken, yeah.
I don't think he intentionally broke his pad just to do a stupid joke.
Right. And then PlayStation Vita posted, the Vita isn't dead, and then posted a picture of the Nintendo
which is actually a really hard blow to Sony, because at any time they could have picked up the Vita and dominated the hand.
I know, yeah.
And now they've completely pooped the bed on this one. They're like, it has so much more processing power than the 3DS. We can take the lead at any time. Then it X them out. Oh well.
Yeah. It's fine. Yeah.
Never mind.
Which actually, I think that the plus and minus are in really jank positions on the controller.
Yeah, that is really strange where they place those.
Like, the first time I saw it, I was like, "Is that a D-pad?" And then I saw the minus, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's where the plus and minus is." I was like, "That's weird."
Wait, do they even have a D-pad?
Yeah. No, wait. No, yes. On the, like, I'm looking at a picture of it right now. The grip, it's called the Switch grip. On the left side, like, I can't zoom in on it for some reason. The left side has a D-pad. It's an analog stick on the top, and then at the bottom it has a D-pad, and then there's a power button. And then on the right side it has the, typical YXBA, and then an analog on the bottom, and then a home button below that. So,
okay.
Have you seen all the, like, people have also been making connections that the Nintendo Switch, the grip controller looks like a dog. People have been making that.
Yeah, I heard
that connection.
Like, it looks like a doggy. Yeah, I've seen people talk about that.
But yeah, I'm really stoked for this. I'm really excited. There's still a lot to be confirmed that has not been confirmed yet.
That is true.
Nintendo, you did it. You did a good job. You didn't. It isn't a gimmick. Like, it's a gimmick, but it's not a big gimmick. It's a console. There's no gimmick to it.
In my opinion, it's a very practical gimmick, if anything.
Yeah.
Like, whereas the Wii was intentionally trying to innovate in a strange way, whereas this one seems legitimately more useful than anything else that they could have ever made.
Like, and like, this is something, they had a really hard time marketing the Wii U because it was hard to understand. I thought it was the Wii with a gamepad. Like,
that's exactly what I thought it was. I was like, wow, now the Wii has a gamepad? I don't see why I paid $300 for it.
Yeah. And it's like, no, it's an entirely new console. It's like, they did a really bad job advertising it. No one understood and no one bought the gimmick because you had to use the gamepad on everything. This one, they're just like, play your games. You want to go somewhere? Take it with you. That's it. That's it. That's all they need.
It really is. Like, honestly, if they had done a better job, advertising the Wii U, they probably could have completely, not really blown away the competition, but they could have had some kind of something to stand on.
Right.
Because like the Wii U just got completely trashed on the whole time it was out.
Right.
And now the NX is. It was, in all honesty, it's probably one of the most talked about things in gaming history in a while now.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly can't think of any game or system that has come out in recent years that has had so much mystery and hype behind it.
Right.
Like the NX, or the Switch as it is now. It was just it's one of those. I was watching someone on YouTube. I can't remember who it is, but they mentioned that this is probably like one of the fewer moments in gaming history where we get to, anticipate something great. Because before then, there wasn't internet, there wasn't, friends and stuff like that. Or I mean, you had friends, but like when something new was coming out, there was complete mystery behind it. The best you could do is magazines and commercials.
Yeah.
The NX is bringing some of that charm back, which I'm really glad that it is. But again, like, I can't remember the last time I've been ever excited for something other than Zelda U.
And Smash.
Ironically enough.
And Smash.
and Smash, fair enough, and Smash. But like I said, like it only seems that Nintendo just keeps these little inklings of like, you want it. We're not going to tell you anything about it. Whereas like Microsoft and Sony are just like, we're doing this.
Yeah. We made another PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Enjoy.
We call it Xbox 2.
Well, and you bring up a great point. Like with internet has been evolving. It's been evolving for the past, I want to say, 5 years. It's been there before the Wii U, but just until recently, or at least in our world, it's become a huge thing that we thrive off of and we use on a daily basis. And for our generation, it's almost impossible for us to go a day without getting on the internet because our jobs rely on that, And
like there's actually been a lot of petitions to say that we need to bump the internet up to almost a necessity in America. Right. Because I hear in other countries their internet is way faster than our own, even though we invented it. Ironically enough.
Right. Well, and so, but yeah, going along with that, we've never had a time like the Wii U was just dropped on us. Like there's the Wii U.
Like out of nowhere.
With this, we've been waiting for this for a year and a half. Like I remember when they said they're working on a new console, and I was like, but I just got the Wii U. But exactly. But I'd had it for 3 years, and I was like, well, I can wait. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, I need this console now. I need it today.
I need a breath of fresh wild.
And the thing with this console, the thing that I'm really enjoying, other than the third party support and other things like that, is crap. I lost my words. Oh no! It was It's just the fact that we know what it is now.
Yeah.
This trailer.
Or at least we know a lot more than we used to.
Yeah, this trailer was just enough for it to tide us over, for us to wait. It's enough for us to speculate. We don't have to worry about rumors anymore. They finally told us what it was, and it was just enough for it to satisfy our needs for the next 6 months.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I was worried silly that they were just going to be like, here it is, not going to tell you what it is, or they're not going to show like.
Yeah, me too. Like I thought they were going to do like some dumb like skit where like Reggie comes in, hey Paul, you done with that NX yet? Oh, bitch, you silly banana. Of course not. Okay, see you in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I was
stupid like that, like, and it just kind of pans over, and it's just the dock. It's not even like the screen or anything or the controller.
Yeah, it just be something like just more of a troll than anything else.
Yeah,
you know it exists, but we're not talking about it yet.
Yeah.
You want to hear more about Pokemon Sun and Moon?
Somebody made up a good point. They were like, the minute that that Nintendo puts Pokemon on, like an actual Pokemon game on this, it's no longer a home console.
That's very,
they're no longer marketing it as a home console. They're marketing it as a mobile. So I would be fine with Pokemon being on there, but I don't need it. I have a 3DS. I'm fine.
I mean, yeah, I'm still enjoying X and Y and stuff like that. Like, I mean, with me and Pokemon games, I can't really burn out on them because there's so much you can still do. There's so much replayability. Right. So I don't really see an absolute necessarily, importance to putting a Pokemon game on an X, which, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would love to have that. A lot of Pokemon fans would. But, I mean, I don't see how it would give a different experience as opposed to, something that 3DS can offer.
Right, of course.
Other than the way of, like, better graphics or something like that. Unless it was, what was it, Kyle? He was talking to you when we were playing, or when I went to your apartment last weekend. He mentioned we were playing Pokken, right? And he said he would love to play a Pokemon game where it was regular Pokemon, but during the battles you would do something Pokken style.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they were to ever do something like that, the NX would probably be the most optimal choice overall. Sees how it can hold so much and do so much now, much more than a 3DS as far as graphics and capability and just memory space alone.
Right.
So I mean, just that as far as Pokemon concerned with the NX, unless they took a direction like that, I don't necessarily see a need for it. Is basically what my point was.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Nintendo's definitely being very innovative, and I'm very, very excited for this. I'm excited to play Zelda on the I keep wanting to call it either, for some reason I keep wanting to call it the Shuffle as well. I don't know why I'm wanting to call it the Shuffle.
Do the hustle.
Yeah. The Switch. But at first I was a little skeptical about the name. I think I'm starting to get used to it being called the Switch.
Yeah. But it's probably one of the most simple names in the way of what they've ever named something. Like we've had the Nintendo 64, the Nintendo GameCube, the Nintendo Wii, the Nintendo Wii U, 3DS, and now it's Switch.
Yeah. Switch. Yeah.
The Switch. It's not even Nintendo Switch. It's just Switch.
It's not as simple as PlayStation 4, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Xbox is just like Xbox 360, Xbox One.
Xbox original, Xbox 360, X-Bone.
Yeah.
Scorpio.
The only thing I could possibly think that the Switch may have against it, do you think that whenever it goes into mobile mode, that there may be something wrong with it? Like it may compress down to not run as fast, or...
Okay, so here's a thought I had going back to the whole car situation. One thing I thought that may happen is, or something they could do, is that it actually may come with a disc. And the disc, you install in the hard, the actual console that stays home. But the chip may be something you put inside your controller to keep things rolling in a sense, or to keep, have a much compressed version of it. I'm not entirely sure. That's just what I may think. But as far as
I was just gonna say, like, the thing about the only thing, because somebody said that, and I was just kind of seeing what you had to say with it. My rebuttal to my own statement, is the fact that the actual console itself, according to Nintendo on their gallery, the actual console itself is the screen. That's the console. That thing is the console. There's a vent in it, headphone jack. That thing's the console. You put they call it a game card, but the cartridge. You put it in. Yeah. You put it inside of the console, and that thing is the console. And so, and you put it on that dock, and the dock just goes straight to your TV. It's just like an extra display. So honestly, I don't really see there being much of a delay picking it up or anything if it's running on that itself. So I don't really... The only delay I can see is if you actually plug it into the dock, because it's actually putting something out, where the console is a screen. Isn't that interesting, though? The console itself is a screen.
Really, well, I mean, look at mobile phones nowadays. I mean, you have phones that could display 4K images.
Right,
so it's not unlikely that Nintendo had a brain fart and they're like, oh, duh, just do it. It's like, so, I mean, honestly, it does surprise me that the system, from what we've seen, is so small. And if it's going to perform the way we've been seeing as it's performing, it's going to be quite a revolutionary device.
Right.
I honestly don't see it beating out the likes of a Wii U. And honestly, I think it might be on par, if may not a little bit better or worse, give or take.
Yeah.
So they're like, what was it? Reggie said during the last E3, someone asked him about the processing power or the graphics, and he's like, look, we don't care about graphics. We don't care about display performance. We care about games.
Right.
So,
but you gotta remember, though, that they at least need to have something so that they can support the third party. They might not, but their third party will, and they should probably provide for them, to be honest.
That is very true. So
although their games may not be as up, like they may have said that and then been like, well, let's do it for the third. They did it for the third party, and then they're like, why don't we just take advantage of this as well and make Mario in Unreal Engine 4?
But that's Ocarina of Time Unreal Engine. Engine. But I do see that point. I honestly, for a while now, it seems like Nintendo's been playing the "we don't care about graphics" card. Yeah. But you making that point, it does seem like if they are to support third-party anything...
I mean, they have remastered Skyrim on there. I mean, it has to have some type of high... I mean, Skyrim is not an easy game to run on a Wii... You couldn't run that on a Wii U. There's no way you could run Skyrim on a Wii U.
It's amazing that Xenoblade X runs as well as it does on a Wii U.
And it barely does, because it has to add those packs to it to make it easier.
You have to have those packs in order for things to load faster, at least. So Skyrim, it would probably put it in a kink. Yeah. anything. But that is interesting. Just there's so much like mystery wrapped around this thing still, seeing as far how it can process and what's capable of,
right,
as far as we've seen. And what it does.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be good either way. I'm gonna buy it either way. I'm excited. Yeah. I mean, I posted my video this afternoon. I've already had a couple comments saying Nintendo disappointed me. I'm not buying it, and I don't know where they're getting that from. What they're disappointed about. I mean, it's a console. Be happy. Nintendo's releasing a console. You know.
So they never specified why they didn't like it. They're just like, oh, this is dumb. I don't like it.
They deleted their comment. I just saw it, and I was at work, so I didn't really like see who it was or anything. I just saw the comment, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll get back to them later. And then like when I got back, it was deleted, and I was like, oh, okay, well. But
I'm honestly trying to think of what would be disappointing about it. I guess one thing that someone could be disappointed is that they were expecting something completely new, I guess. Then I don't know what that would be as far as VR.
I don't know. This is pretty new. I mean, this
is something it's kind of been done before, but never to this level. Like I've never, like the closest thing we've had to that is a PS Vita. Yeah. And what Sony did with that. Right. So, and not only that, but it's a home console as you go. Like that's never been done before.
And see, That's the thing about the PS Vita is that it was advertised as a mobile console. This is a home console that you can take on the go. That it's the other way around. So
like I honestly I wouldn't know what it. I mean, like I said, unless your expectations for it to be something else were ruined. Like if you're expecting it to be VR or somehow so realistically crazy great graphics that it's literally like real life or something. I honestly don't know what you'd be disappointed about other than your expectations for it.
Right.
Because, like, I mean, honestly, like, the whole concept is genius, let alone the way the controller looks and handles. So, like I said, like, it's completely just, I guess, opinionated because really this is something never done before. It's just, there's just nothing you can compare it to other than, like, handhelds that don't even scratch the surface of what this is practically capable of.
Right.
So like I said, it just if anyone doesn't like it, it's because it's not what they want it to be, and that sucks. But that's just how
it goes. I'd hate to be that person, to be honest. I'm super stoked. Yeah. I'd hate to have my dreams crushed with that.
Honestly, like I would be if it turned out that NX was just a more highly powerful Wii U, I honestly would not care. I
probably wouldn't either. I was gonna buy it either way. So
but I think honestly, in my position, if it was just a more powerful high def game, unless it had a humongous hard hitting seller like the next Zelda titles, I don't think I'd be too inclined to buy it because I'm happy with my Wii U. So I wouldn't reason buy it.
I like my Wii U.
But because the NX is in fact a new idea, I am even more so excited for it.
Right.
It's like I said, it's never been done before.
Switch, we did it again. It's the Switch. Dadgummit.
Switch. Okay, you know what? I don't even care. I'm calling it NX.
It's the Nintendo NX that we've known for too long.
I'm literally gonna get like a big red marker and put NX over
the Switch on everything.
We've been calling it NX for this long. I'm not gonna accept it being the Switch.
Right.
I'm just. It's one thing that I was just gonna make a comment about like all these fake. Concepts for the NX being like this like really slim tower like home console, and now it's like it's like this brick in your hands that goes wherever you go. So I thought that was a little funny.
Doesn't look
the NX.
It doesn't look very kid proof, but I'm sure Hori is already working on a case for it already.
He's probably gonna like contact Lego and get like the Lego. Now connect Legos.
I do have one concern that we haven't touched on yet.
All right.
How are they going to be able to take this with them? Is it so small they can fit it in their pocket? Is it an extra thing that you have to carry around with extra accessories? Are they going to provide a bag that lets you carry it with them? How are you going to keep up with the cartridges? Like, there's a lot of really tiny pieces that are hard to keep up with. What do you think Nintendo's solution to this will be?
Well, like you said, they probably, if you get like the bundle or whatever they're going to do, there may in fact be like an NX carrying pouch that they're going to make. Because like you do bring up an excellent point, is that look at 3DS carriers. It's like you have like a bag that holds the system and then like the games and whatever styluses you have with it. The NX is a little different, seeing how the controllers come apart for whatever reason. You can because it looks like from what we saw, like you can either put in your hand or take the screen off, prop it up, and use the controllers in your hand.
Right.
And that does, and seeing how they are in fact wireless, that does create a problem of misplacement or, kind of cumbersome, because even though it can be one whole system, we still can't, waver the fact that it is a little cumbersome like that. I don't see a way for you to comfortably put that in your pocket, basically.
Right, yeah.
If it's as big as a 3DS, which it's in fact bigger, like even bigger than an XL, there's no way it could comfortably fit in your pocket. So this would definitely have to be something that you'd be carrying in your backpack or a purse or whatever.
Yeah. Well, so and I definitely see that happening. People have it in the bag or like losing it or something. But it's still cool. It's like the fact that
like that's why it's more important that this is marketed towards a more mature audience, because if you're a responsible individual, unlike children, you're going to be able to keep up with this thing. Like you're going to be like, okay, so this is my bag designated, or this is my spot in my bag designated to completely the Switch.
Right.
Nothing else goes in there. I will always keep up with this. Like that's something a mature person would do. Whereas a kid would be like, Mom, I lost the left side to my Switch.
The left Joy-Con, yeah.
The left Joy-Con. I lost the Breath of the Wild ship. Can you get me a new one?
Right, yeah. Well, that was something I saw somebody say. They were like, every mature person ever was like, yay, I can take it on the go, and then in real life, it's like, Mom, can I go? And it's like, sure. And then he's like taking the Switch, and he's like, no, you can't take your $300 console outside this house. So, but like. Something, and the reason that I brought up the whole like carrying thing, somebody made a whole entire article talking about how the Nintendo Switch is going to fail because Nintendo doesn't understand mobile gaming. And I was like, I don't think that's the point of this. Their mobile gaming market is going towards phones. And what they brought up was the whole thing, like, no one's going to want to carry the Switch and a smartphone with them. A smartphone that can make phone calls and stuff like that. And then he's like, oh, what was the other thing he said was going to fail about it? I think horsepower, I think, was the thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we still don't know how much of a charge it can hold for how long.
Right.
But one thing that does bring up is that, in fact, mobile gaming is going towards phones. But let's be honest, the most you could probably emulate on that almost comfortably is a N64 game like Ocarina of Time.
Yes, comfortably.
Yeah, wait, what? Yeah. So like an NX, as far as like process and playability and just like like quality games go, it's not mobile. It's a sense of mobile, but it's a complete game. It's a complete experience. It's a theater in your pocket, essentially.
Right.
Or like, a whole experience in your pocket, whereas a phone can only do so much because it is at the core of its central processor. It is in fact a phone. It's intended for, communications and worldwide such and such, whereas this device is meant for games.
Right.
I mean, it can support, I'm pretty sure they'll have apps on it. Like you can watch probably Netflix on it and YouTube.
Yeah, of course.
At its core, like every other games console, it is in fact going to be for gaming and exclusively gaming. So I can see their concern for that, but I think they're going about it the wrong way. Because you can play Temple Run on your phone, but you can't play Breath of the Wild on your phone.
Yeah. Either way, I'm gonna buy it, and it's gonna be awesome, and I'm super excited. So we're about 40 minutes into this, Amos. Is there any? I think we'll start wrapping it up here. Is there any final thoughts you would like to say? Like any final words or a summary of everything that you would like to say before we wrap up here?
I would just like to say that I'm really happy that as far as the controller is concerned, I'm glad they're taking a step back towards the asymmetrical, because my all-time favorite controller is a GameCube controller, and I'm glad they're going back to asymmetrical. Yeah. And I'm really, really excited for this game. I honestly do think that Nintendo, it may have a rough patch with the system, but I do think it's going to knock it out of the park once it gets its feet on the ground.
Right. It's going to be awesome. And my final thoughts, I'm just going to say I just love the fact you can take it on the go. It's awesome. I love the fact that each individual Joy-Con can be its own separate controller. for 2 different people, and you can play all these different games. I love the third-party support. I think that makes me the most happy, because it's going to be bringing in all these other people who don't like Nintendo because it doesn't have third-party support, like Kyle.
He'll come around. Give him time.
Yeah, he'll probably like the NX. He's been dadgummit the Switch. He's been texting me about it today. But then I'm excited about the third-party support. I'm excited about NVIDIA, and I'm excited that Nintendo did it. They did a good. So good job. Good job, Nintendo. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us. So I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion, and if you like this 45-minute discussion or however long this was, let us know. I enjoyed doing it. Maybe we'll do it again sometime, but it was fun. But just remember, guys, that we're MURPHGAM, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Later.